Hi everybody, I am Matt Holland and I'm here with Brooke, and this is KeyForge Call of the Archons. In KeyForge, each player is an Archon. In this case, I am Cadaxi Newtim from the Surgeon's Atrium, and Brooke is Dr. Loco Egg, the teaming director. We are Archons that are battling on Crucible to be the first to forge 3 keys, with which we will open a vault of incredible knowledge and win the game. Every single deck that'll ever exist for this game is different from every other deck. Unique card art, unique card backs, and a unique name. There's 7 total houses, 3 get mashed together to make your deck. Mars is your classic kind of Martians. Sanctum is very kind of holy knights, and Untamed is the animals. We got Logos, they are robot, researcher, a very clever house. Dis, which is a bunch of demons, very underhanded, and Brobnar, which are a sort of barbarian horde. Shadows, which is the one house that is not featured in either of these decks, is the other very underhanded, steely, dirty tricks sort of house. Each of these houses has a general faction identity or a flavor, and that's going to affect the combos that you see, the cards you see, and just how your deck plays. But there's many more cards in each house than are in our decks, so still a lot of variety within a given house. These decks are not just generated completely randomly. If you've got one of the 4 horsemen, it's going to put the other 3 horsemen in there with it. KeyForge cares about neighboring and flanks, they call it. So neighboring would be a creature next to the creature that has the word neighboring. Whenever you play a new one, it goes on either side of that line. If one is removed, the line collapses down. Amber is the main resource of the game. It's what we will use to forge keys. If at the start of your turn you ever have 6 amber, or whatever the current cost is that can go up and down, you will forge a key. You forge all 3 keys, you win. On your turn, you pick one of your 3 houses, and you will name that house. You can then play, use, or discard any number of cards of that house. 4 types of cards. Creatures come into play exhausted, stay here, like this Tentacus, which is already played. Actions, they just have an effect that fires and then goes to your discard. Artifacts will come into play exhausted as well, and kind of stay here as a repeatable thing you can use. Upgrades will generally give your creatures or your other cards special abilities. So my options for using, generally to attack another creature or to reap. Reap is basically production of ember. So I'm gonna just reap. Reaping always gives me 1 ember for the creature that does it. He also has a fight or reap ability. So he's gonna ready a non-agent Mars creature. And since it's still my turn and since he is ready, I can go ahead and reap with this guy too. I am choosing to reap with these because if I fought him, he's got 5 power, I've only got 2. Not only will I not kill him, he's going to destroy whichever one of my creatures attacks. So not really worth doing. I'm also going to discard 1 Mars card. There's no reason to worry about discarding because if you run out of cards in your deck, you just reshuffle and keep playing. So that's the end of my turn. I've got 3 of my 6 ember needed. I ready my cards and I draw back up to 6. The thing I love about KeyForge is that let's say I have this amazing hand and I play all these Sanctum cards down. When I draw back up, there's the question of, oh, I don't have any Sanctum cards in my hand at all. Which means my choice is either use all this amazing stuff I just put down, or do I continue to improve my board state or continue to mess with my opponent's options by playing Logos or Mars. So there's that kind of self-limiting, self-balancing aspect to the decks. It is super simple to play, and it gives you that sense of discovery because you don't know what's in that deck. There is no established meta where you look and see, oh, these are their characters or their starting colors. You have to be very tactical and be ready for anything because there are cards called Mavericks which don't match these houses in the deck. There's a very low chance for a card to get a different house and kind of guest star in that deck. The random deck also gives us the option to do some really fun things with organized play. You can have a tournament where you bring your worst deck, and every game your opponent plays your worst deck and you play theirs. So it's trying to make the most out of a bad situation. Out November 15th, $10 for a KeyForge deck. That's KeyForge by Richard Garfield.